So Jamaica, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. So straight into the news tonight, Attorney General John Jeremy is anticipating that stand your ground legislation will be laid in Parliament after the upcoming mid-year budget review. However, Jeremy said the process is still in the early stage as the Ministry of Homeland Security has been tasked with assembling a specialized committee to provide him with detailed instruction of drafting the legislations. The government has yet to announce a specific date for the mid-year review, but the Prime Minister indicated it could be sometime in June. Jeremy said he hopes to bring the bill for debate during this parliament term because he anticipated that some item in the legislation will need a specific or a special majority approval. So Trinidad and Tobago, you know when the PNM had to pass a bill and they need a special majority or a small majority, you know, they would add in this clause and remove this section. They're going to add in this clause and remove that section so they could get a special or a minor majority. Just vote what they want and that's it. To hell with everybody else. Remember that? But nevertheless, let's hope the UNC does the correct thing and don't follow in the footstep of those that were before them. Let's just hope that. But nevertheless, they know how they're doing them thing. Minister of Health, Dr. Lakram Bodo, has announced that the government is actively working to further expand the already extended opening hours at health centers across the country. Listen to this.
You know, we are looking at the convenience of you being able to go to a health center on a Saturday or after hours rather than have to take time off from work. This is the philosophy and the thinking behind it. You know, and we do hope that, you know, citizens will avail themselves of that service when it becomes available again in the near future.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Minister Lakram said, the initiative, which was first introduced during the tenure of the People's Partnership Administration, was aimed at improving public health to primary healthcare service. He said it is being considered for wider implementation. Dr. Lakram.
As you would know, between 2010 and 2015, there was a program in place where over 40 health centers were open on extended hours. The results of that showed that it was beneficial to the population. At this current time, I believe that only 6 of those health centers remain open. So we want to roll it back out on a phase basis, initially from 6 to maybe 12, and we go forward.
Now, viewers, the minister said the move would ease pressure on the emergency department of major hospitals and ensure more timely treatment for non-emergency cases. Dr. Akram said it would also create employment for unemployed healthcare professionals. He said this government will also ensure that the Couva Hospital is functional.
We are also looking at strengthening the infrastructure for the next generation, and we will ensure the full operationalization of the Couva Children's Hospital, transforming it into a flagship center for innovation and training, and pediatric care and other types of care.
With the mid-year budget review approaching, Dr. Lakram reiterated growing concerns over 400 million debit owed to suppliers for medical goods and service.
Whilst I don't want to give I may not have an exact figure at my fingertips, I can say that there are many outstanding bills that have to be paid to suppliers and so on. Of course, it is very important that suppliers are paid to maintain continuity of goods and supplies and drugs. So that submission is being looked at right now together with the Permanent Secretary. But I suspect that the Ministry of Health will have to ask for substantial amounts to be able to meet the expenses that we inherited. Sorry, I don't have a figure. I don't want to be held to an exact figure, but I believe it might be somewhere in the region of over $400 million. Yes. But that exact figure will come about in the mid-year budget review.
So now, Trinidad and Tobago, one would ask, how come the health sector in Trinidad is in a debt of $400 million for goods and service? How come? One would ask, what was Saieed Ali doing? Now, let me just shift a little bit. Remember our Minister of Finance saying that we have a booming economy. So if we have a booming economy, and Saieed Ali said our health sector is perfect, it is great, it is the best in the Caribbean, how come we end up with our $400 million owing for goods and services? How come? How come? It's the same thing. It's the same thing like former finance minister Clongenberg said, our economy is doing great. Our economy is doing great, but yet we are owing millions of dollars. WASA is owing T&Tech. Government offices are officially owing T&Tech millions of dollars, but our economy is doing great. How come Marvin Gonzalez didn't try to fix this problem? How come Marvin Gonzalez didn't try to get the money that government owed T&Tech to T&Tech since he was the Minister of Public Utilities? So how come this didn't happen? But the economy is growing. We are in a boom. But yet government offices is owing T&Tech. WASA is owing T&Tech. But we have the Minister of Public Utilities saying everything is good. Everything is good. All well and good. Finance Minister saying the country's in a boom. We're growing. The economy is great. But yet T&Tech cannot get what is due to them from government office. This is what I'm asking myself now. 400 million is being owed for goods and service. Sometimes I wonder sometimes. That's why they say when you hear Colin Bird said the country is in a boom, we are experiencing our growth. What growth did we really experience? What growth? Because Marvin Gonzalez is telling the citizens, you have to carry out your children one time for the month. He got an increase among 900 high-ranking officials. Or is it that the economy growed? There was a growth in the economy only for the 900 individuals to collect a hefty salary increase. This is what I ask myself. While our former Prime Minister, well, I had to say, we have two former Prime Ministers, you know. One was for 9 years and one was for a month. So we had to go with the 9 year for the former Prime Minister, Keith Rowley. Always saying tighten your belt. Always saying tighten your belt. But $50,000, or I believe it's $50 million was added for entertainment. Imagine that, eh? But tighten your belt. Saieed, you're talking nonsense. That's why the hole in front of your road. The road in front of your property, the hole, it can't fix. Because why? Dr. Rowley always telling all you, tighten all your belt, tighten all your belt. He got an increase in pension and he went home. And we bowling great as the PNM. Great as the PNM. When we go in the grocery, we had to cut down on the dal, the rice, the sugar, the chicken, the goat, wherever it is, we had to cut back. While we bowling great as the PNM and them fixing themselves nice. How stupid can we be? How stupid. What we forgot is we put them there in power. What end of the stick we got? What end of the stick we got? The sticky side. Where you're bowling, that's the side we got. But nevertheless, moving along. Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander maintained that the well-being of police officers is crucial for those organizations crime-fighting success and urge officers not to abuse their sick leave and to report to duty as expected. Alexander made a call as he referred to efforts to absorb special reserve police officers in the wider TTPS, without referring to any specific concerns or the number of officers that have been abusing sick leave. Alexander said that crime fighting remain a top priority to achieving security objectives. Alexander.
Don't run from the job. The country depending on you, a nation depending on you. Cannot be that we are bringing in persons who's on extended sick leave for no great apparent reason and who has other issues. A man is exempted from standing. He's exempted from walking. He's exempted from talking. He's exempted from sitting.
An official of the TTPS Corporate Communication Unit was contacted for the number of police officers who were on leaves, but was told that the information will take some time to source. Contacted for comment, Acting Commissioner of Police Junior Benjamin agreed that officers should not fake illness to avoid work, but did not say whether this was a significant concern within the TTPS. Benjamin.
Don't take sick leave as if it is a normal vacation leave. But nevertheless, I am saying, unless it is proven, I would want to think that the officers, they are those who understand the genuineness of it, and they are going to put the necessary things in place so that when they say they're sick, they're sick.
Now, viewers, he said the mechanism were in place to ensure that officers, once proven they falsified a sick leave, would face disciplinary action. Police officers are entitled to 14 days sick leave per year. 14 days. So after 14 days, you're coming out back to work. So if you have 14 days for the whole year, how are you falsifying that? There's only 14 days, it's 2 weeks. It's just like any other place. 14 days sick leave, 10 days vacation or something like that, I don't know. But nevertheless, viewers, they are working to find out which officer is falsifying sick leave. But nevertheless, it's only 14 days. After 14 days, that's it. It's only 14 days you could send in a false sick leave, you know. After that, you had to go to work. It doesn't matter what you do. I believe if you stay away from work, well, then that's it. The salary don't count. But nevertheless, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, Griffith urged citizens to not dismiss TTPS hardship. More on this when we return.
We'll be right back. When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Real Talk viewers. So Trinidad, I must remind you about Real Talk Financing. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago, viewers, that is offering you a 5% on fixed deposit. Now remember, viewers, this fixed deposit gives you your interest up front. Now, there are no other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago can meet or match or beat this offer that you are getting. Like I said, viewers, I've been in the finance business for about 30 years. I bring the best to you. The best fixed deposit you could get in Trinidad and Tobago is with your interest up front. Now, the good thing about this is that you don't have to wait 5 and 10 years to collect your interest. Within that time span, you could die, you could have been an accident. You don't know. But when you open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Financing, within 14 days, when all your paperwork is signed off and fixed, settled, the office is going to call you to come and collect your interest. What can you do with your interest now? Now, imagine if you invest 100,000. I'm just saying you could invest more, you could invest less. But I just like to use a wrong figure. You invest 100,000 for 5 years. Or you invest 200,000 for 5 years. That's $50,000 up front. It is $50,000 up front you're getting on a $200,000 investment for 5 years. You're going for a vacation. You're paying for schools, lessons. You're going to do a surgery, whatever it is you have to do. $50,000, you could put it on the children's name or the grandchildren's name. And that is a start right there for another investment. Imagine that. You have $200,000, you put it on a fixed deposit, but in Real Talk Financing, you're getting $50,000 up front. And with that $50,000 up front, viewers, you put that on our next on our next 5 years investment, and you collect the interest up front too on that. That is a good thing about Real Talk Financing and our fixed deposit. You invest $200,000 for 5 years. It's $50,000 interest. When you get your $50,000 up front, you put it on another fixed deposit, and with that other fixed deposit, within 14 days, also you're getting your upfront interest. So you have you have money all around. 50,000 on the 200,000, and then you're coming again at 5% on the 50,000 again. So you're making money. That is what you call let your money work for you. You see, not every financial institution will show you how to make money out of your money, but I am showing you how you can make money out of the money that you have already worked for. You didn't think about it in that way, ain't? So imagine you make $100,000 investment, right? For 5 years. That's $25,000 up front you're collecting in 14 days' time. Now, when you get this $25,000, you could put it on a savings account, you know. You could go for a vacation. But now, the more money you put on a fixed deposit for 5 years is the more interest you will get in a lump sum within 14 days' time. Have you ever thought about that? Now, Saieed now is showing you how your money can work for you. Why? Because you already worked for your money and you want the proper investment to make more money out of the money you already had. And I am giving you that. Real Talk Financing is giving you that offer. Where else can you go and get that offer? Nowhere in Trinidad and Tobago. That is why we are leading in the fixed deposit system in Trinidad and Tobago. So contact our office, viewers. Our numbers will be on screen soon. Remember viewers, we are the only one that is giving you this, the only one. So contact our offices, set up an appointment, come down and meet with us. Otherwise, you can contact 339-1670 and you will get a lot more information on that. So as we return to our regular show. Former top cop and former leader of the National Transformation Alliance, Gary Griffith, is urging citizens to not throw a broad blanket over the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in relation to absent cop on the job. He insisted, and he said, it is a matter of leadership. His statement comes after Homeland Security, Mr. Roger Alexander, urged officers to not abuse their sick leave and to report to duty as expected. Griffith recalled the service of officers during the COVID-19 pandemic. Griffith.
These were the same police officers where just a few years ago, public trust and confidence in the police service was 59%. These were the same police officers where not one police officer shirked his or her responsibility and they turned up for duty during a period of COVID when over 30 odd police officers lost their lives. Not one police officer was absent. Not one shook their responsibility to try to fake sick. They turned out. You know why? Because there was a sense of pride. There was a sense of patriotism. It was more than just a job.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago. Griffith mentioned the hardship officers faced during the pandemic, which he alleged was not properly recognized by the then PNM government. Listen to this.
They were leaving their homes, not knowing if they will return safely, and they could probably return to their home to infect their family with COVID, and not one word of thanks from the then government. Instead, the government gave national awards to 4 people for having every Wednesday telling people, wash your hands, social distancing. And that is what they got national awards for. Nothing was given to the police officers.
He said, the public trust and confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service was at 59% before it dropped to a low level of 10%, resulting in a lack of motivation for officers. Listen to this one now.
Now with it being, I think, less than 10%, there's a lack of morale, lack of motivation, and the same police officers may not be inclined to go and perform above and beyond the call of duty. But this is no fault of the police officers. It has to do with leadership. It has to do with ways to lift the morale of the police officers.
So now that we have 2 different Ministry of Security, and these high-ranking officers now are looking after the police officers, I wonder, I am seriously wondering, how does Fitzgerald Hines feel now to know that he was the worst Minister of National Security to pass through Trinidad and Tobago? How does he feel? How does he feel now that the world is looking at him, knowing that you were a Minister of National Security and you did not improve security in Trinidad and Tobago for 1.4 million people? The world is looking at him now as a lackadaisical minister. No functions, no moral for the service, no value. You brought nothing to the service. Let me tell you something. You brought nothing to the service and you leave with nothing from the service. That's a lame minister. That was the man who said it is not his job to make Trinidad and Tobago feel safe. Well, then the man who put you in that power had no morals and values neither. Because if you could say that to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, the persons supposed to move you, they had no morals and value neither. And that is why Trinidad and Tobago was in this state. Crime and crime and crime and rampant crime. Why? Because the man didn't know nothing. The man didn't know how to govern. Same thing with Erla. Erla been in TDPS for 40 years. 40 years she behind her desk. You become the commissioner of police. The first 100 days you said you did good. You brought out some plans, it failed. It failed. But nevertheless, if all you call yourself leaders in that way, which the world is looking on at what? Well, look how lackadaisical these ministers are in Trinidad. They can't even protect a small amount of people as 1.4 million people, but they want to come to tell we how to protect we citizens. No, they went Guyana. Was a shame. Dr. Rowley carried an agriculture module to Guyana. They couldn't fit. We imagine we bring yam from Ghana to plant in Trinidad. To fix what? To fix food production. Yam. I wonder if the yam sprout. Call it good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program, and from many of your listeners and people who view your program, showers of blessings to you for the great job you are doing to make this country a better place. And the many people are saying at no time you just bash anyone, or you say bad things about anybody, or you wish anyone bad. So your program is a great program, and people are very happy and supportive to what you are doing to make this country a better place and the lives of citizens better than where it was yesterday. Anyway, there are two aspects of life, the physical and the spiritual. The physical, the material things sustain the physical, like the money that those lawyers from the Paria diving got. They had a sad face, but the sad face they had was they wish they each could have gotten $10 million each. So that is the sad face. They had no sympathy for those people, you spoke about last Friday night. They had no sympathy for the family, And the spiritual aspect of life, you know what the spiritual aspect of life needs? The good things you do, the right principles you practice in life is what feed the soul and strengthen the spirit. So you see what you are doing here, Mr. Sai, you call every night on your program, you're running a program to make this country a better place, and you will be richly blessed because you are doing the right things to feed your soul and strengthen the spirit, and by extension, your fellow citizens of this country, unlike the others who use their office and position only to bring pain and suffering to the citizens of this country, at least for the last 10 years, from 2015 to date. So we're hoping tomorrow will bring a better day for us and the years ahead. So you keep up, you keep talking, you keep presenting the facts to the citizens of this country and to the world, and God will richly bless you for doing this, Mr. Said. Keep up the great work you are doing to make this country a better place.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to discuss the $90,000 that is missing from the San Fernando City Corporation after this.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Realtalk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago. Caller, good night.
A very, very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
I would really like to see a thorough investigation into that disappearance of the money, and people must go to prison. 1. 2. So we understand that Republic Bank, believe it or not, you should notice, have 42 branches in Ghana. Yes? Republic Bank have 42 branches in Ghana. And I would like this government to investigate if former government high officials have any sizable amount of money, and they have to account how that money come about. All the best, have a great evening.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, before we go any further, I believe we have a person of interest for tonight. And I would really like this individual to contact Auto Hive located at the roundabout by South Park. There's a car place opposite South Park, Auto Hive. Dave Rampersad, would you contact Rajiv and company, please? I'm just saying this tonight. I'm giving you the heads up. Contact them, Rajiv and his company, Auto Hive. Mr. Dave Rampersad, do that tomorrow. Otherwise, tomorrow night, being Thursday night, we're going to tell the public why. And I know you can't come at me because it had documents. So Dave Rampersad, contact Auto Hive car dealer tomorrow, please. For your sake, not mine, for yours. Oh, I just want to say good night to the Auto Hive family, Rajiv and his family. Also, Vade in Prontostown, Auto Spot, if you're looking for parts for truck, van, you can contact him. So viewers, the San Fernando Mayor, Robert Paris, has assured the contractors and general workers trade union that the missing $90,000 from the city corporation is now the subject of a police investigation. Listen to this. Now viewers, we'll get back to that. The San Fernando City Corporation workers staged a midday protest at the entrance of City Hall on Tuesday. They expressed their frustration and concerns through songs and placard on the working condition also of the San Fernando City Corporation employees. So listen to this.
We don't have money to purchase the chemicals, we don't have money to purchase this, we don't have money to purchase that. But you can find $40,000 to outfit the CEO office. You could have $90,000 to misplace, but we cannot buy a fan rake, we cannot buy a hay fork.
Something like that was allegedly happened because it's still an investigation and no one has been disciplined or something has to happen because you're talking about a public person.
So you're going to tell me $90,000 gone missing and nothing yet? Vice Chairman of the Trade Union, Ian Charles, said they are fed up without working with basic tools and requirements. They're fed up, but $90,000 gone missing and nothing at launch as yet. Listen to this.
There's a building in City Hall where it have the accounts department, the personnel department, engineers department. We got complaints that they are all experiencing rat problems. At Carib Street Complex, it is festered. At Carib Street Complex, pigeon takeover. At Carib Street Complex, mosquito having a haven, you know. And now we've seen the African snails.
So now, Charles said workers are falling ill due to unsanitary and a breach in the health conditions in their work environment. Wow. Imagine they're getting sick now, Charles. In March 2025, the Occupational Safety and Health Agency has shut down a part of the Carib Street complex, but conditions did not improve for the 520 daily paid workers as well as 350 casual workers. Now viewers, local government minister Khadija Amin promised to look into this matter.
And we started the flood mitigation. It is those same workers who are out there in the drains working lengthy hours to ensure that our water courses are cleared so that we could reduce flooding.
Caller, good night.
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live. Stick here, get it click one time. Acting Commissioner of Police, Junior Benjamin, has revealed that there is a reduction in serious and violent crime across all jurisdictions in Trinidad and Tobago. The top cop attributed this reduction to the hard work of his officers. Benjamin.
And say that the murders for 2024 was at least 228 murders thus far. When we compare that to 2025, we have only 153 murders. When we take a further comparison to 2023, we had at least 241 murders at this time. When we further look at our murders for the month of May, we have 52 murders in comparison to, we had 52 murders in 2024, and in 2023, 49 murders against 23 murders for May this year. What we are seeing is that there's certainly a great reduction in terms of the numbers of murders that we've seen for the month of May. And therefore, we believe that this is due to the hard work of our officers.
So according to the statistics, he noted that there have been an overall 33% reduction in murder comparing to the number by year in 2023 to 241. Murders were recovered. In 2024, there were 228, while in 2025, 153 were recorded. For the month of May in 2024, 52 murders were recorded, while the same for this time, this year, there were 23 recorded. He added that there has been a 28% reduction in violent crime. Benjamin.
Overall, we've seen a reduction in our total serious crimes, and also we've seen a reduction in terms of our violent crime. When we look at our violent crimes, we have for 2024 at least 1,991 in 2024 in terms of violent crimes. Now in 2025 we have only 1,424, which is a 28% reduction. So when we look at our murders, we have at least a 33% reduction against that of last year, and for this we are grateful.
Caller, good night.
Yes, sir, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, I have a personal problem, but I don't know if you can help me out with it, buddy.
Tell me.
Here we're going on, right? When you're coming down Care Road, before the Savannah, it have a new bar that open by opposite the Lotto machine, right?
Okay.
49 Care Road is the address of the place, right? I don't know if you know anybody in the station where you could send them down there, because of the fact that they're having an event tomorrow night, right? Where they're going to be serving everybody in the area there, because they put all the speaker boxes outside. Nobody has no problem with that, right? You have all your passes and everything granted to you for tomorrow night, right? But why are you making noise tonight and people that, buddy?
Oh!
Yeah. You understand what I'm trying to tell you?
I understand what you're saying.
Listen, people can't deal with that noise 2 nights in a row, you know. So I just asking you on live TV if you could get police to come down there and please deal with the situation tonight. All you done here, all your approvals for tomorrow. Oh God, don't jam me tonight too now.
I understand what you're saying.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, my friend. Well, I'm sure the seniors in the station heard about it because they just be locked on to Real Talk to find out what's going on in the community and to get information and things. So I'm sure one or two of them seniors in the station in Sugarwater probably heard about it. But then again, if you have an event tomorrow night, why you backing up tonight? Give the people a little rest. Viewers, will be right back after this.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Welcome back.
So viewers, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, TTPS Legal Officer Corporal Saieed Ali have stated that although the state of emergency SOE ended in April 13, 2025 and resulted in 14 people being charged with criminal offense, investigation have continued. Ali said that the subsequent SOE investigations have proceeded individually. Listen to this.
Subsequent to the SOE, the investigations have progressed, evidentially. In some instances, those investigative files are engaging the legal officers in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and in some instances, consultation are ongoing with the Director of Public Prosecutions. So I anticipate that, that in the near future, and within a reasonable time, our Commissioner will be able to respond as to whether in fact those cases have matured to attract prosecutions.
However, he assured, we are exploring the law and we have made some progress. Ali.
To challenges. Definitely that challenges would have been, prevailing, and challenges in the context when you are dealing with organized crime and gang investigations. Those are complex matters. And when you are heavily dependent on witnesses to come forward, it definitely will create a challenge. But may I say that we are thinking out of the box, we are exploring the law, and we have made some progress.
President of the Trinidad and Tobago Scrap Iron Dealers Association, Alan Ferguson, is confident that the industry will take another upward trend following his first meeting with the new Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism. Listen to this.
Going back to some of them things to able for the industry to catch back up itself, and the minister indicated to us immediately we could work out what we need to make change and send it to him immediately. Yeah. When people get this news tonight, I am telling you that people will want to come back in the industry because people was waiting for this kind of news to know that it's going to change. And some of the laws that the former administration had, we going to get some of the laws moved from this industry and placed with some things that could work.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, according to Alan Ferguson, they met with Satyakama Maraj concerning trade and investment. Now, speaking to reporters on Tuesday, Mr. Ferguson said the industry has been plagued with outdated laws and over-regulation throughout the years, but remain committed for changes.
Because this industry had 163 yards, and now we only have 20-something. We had about 25,000 people. Everybody could have seen thousands of people was employed with this industry. If you watch 5 to 7, 8,000, now you watch that. And we had mentioned all this to the minister, and we said we need to pull back this industry as how it is. And the minister agreed that why are our industry, $1 billion industry like this suffering?
Mr. Ferguson said the association was given several promises by the minister, which he said would aid in the revival of the industry, including installation of CCTV cameras to prevent theft. I don't know how that's going to work, but listen to this.
Mention a board where they could be able to monitor what's going on in industry. Long as that happen, you find that the problems that we having will seek its way and move away from the industry, and the industry will be able to run much better than we're going now.
Now, viewers, Regional and International Relations Officer at the association, Michael Kerr, said the industry should not have to beg for simple requests. Imagine this. There's a scrap iron industry. Your old iron, you're cleaning up around the house, your old bed frame, old car, wherever it is, you carry it and you sell it. So which means you're cleaning up your community, you're cleaning up your surroundings, your household surroundings, you're cleaning up the community, and you're keeping the country safe of old iron being dispersed all over the world. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, why is it that the scrap iron industry in Trinidad and Tobago have to suffer? And I've been saying this. Let me tell you something. We have a lot of companies in this country, and all you need is to sit down, have a meeting, put things in place, and go forward and let the country be productive. How hard is this? But when we have lackadaisical ministers who all they care about is when 30 days pass, they get a budget, they get an allowance, they get a salary, they get their perks, they get to travel all over the world, they get hotel accommodation. That's all they're concerned about it. We have seen that for the last 9 years. Let's hope that this new Minister of Trade and Industry changes the whole scenario on the way business takes place on an international level. Listen to this.
This is not something that the industry should be begging for oversight to ensure that there's transparency. This is something that should come from the government without us having, of course, to be begging and pleading for it. And he understands that. So again, he shares the vision. And again, with his background in business, he understands again quite clearly what has to be done. And he's more than willing to work with the industry.
Scrap iron industry is a big industry in Trinidad and Tobago. It is an industry all over the world. And I believe most of the scrap iron dealers in our country of Trinidad, they ship iron to India. Switching gears. Opposition Senate leader Dr. Amy Brown has condemned the United National Congress government publications of the identity of people who had priority bus route passes, which is now put at their security at risk. So in the first place, why did they get it? You will tell me a gym trainer getting a priority bus pass? What was urgent in giving a gym trainer a bus pass? Amory, could you answer to that? How it is a construction worker got priority bus pass? He's a construction worker. How did he get that? Amory, could you shed some light on it? Brown said the publication of the names and vehicle registration number of citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who are holders of passes to use the priority bus route was a poor decision to which puts the security of these individuals and their family at risk. Amy Brown, listen, let me ask you a direct question. If you as a construction worker and a gym trainer got a bus pass, how it is that your family at risk? I want to ask you that question. How is it that your family is at risk? Did they commit a crime? Are they wanted by police? Let me tell you something. For a foreign affairs minister for the PNM, I find it rather you a duncy head to come out and make a statement like that. It's sickening, it's sad. Imagine you, the foreign affairs minister. Dan Paul was the ambassador for Trinidad and Tobago in the United Kingdom. Right? Faraz Al-Rawi knew a few years back that the UK was going to put visa restrictions on Trinbagonians. And what will they do? What Ole had no discussions. It's after they put in place, then Ole run now to say, well, we didn't know that. Forrest knew about it. So now, Dr. Amy Brown, don't come and say it put their family at risk. A construction worker's abandoned. Is he targeted by the police? I want to ask you that question. Is a gym trainer targeted by the police? How is he at risk? And here is now for big men who are educated and have a doctorate behind them. Some of them real duncy, you know. They're real duncy. But nevertheless, meanwhile, a long overlooked Inter-American Development Bank IDB report recommending an island-wide bus route network has returned to the forefront as the Route 2 Maxi Taxi Association renewals calls for urgent and strategic transport reform. President of the Route 2 Maxi Taxi Association, Brenton Knights, said the IDB-backed report developed in collaboration with his association presented a feasible and cost-effective alternative to the rapid rail system previously proposed. Trinidad and Tobago, that's an issue by itself, but someday in the near future we will go into that. But nevertheless, viewers, we have come to the end of our program tonight. But before we close off, I want to encourage you to make an investment in a fixed deposit. Let me tell you something. You're going to watch your money grow. With the interest up front, no other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is giving you that. Until we meet again, good night.